Now, News First has been keeping you updated on the situation surrounding the Costa Concordia cruise ship that ran aground on the night of Friday the 13th. Today, the Italian Coast Guard reported that the search and rescue of the Costa Concordia cruise ship has been suspended after the vessel shifted slightly. Officials say that they are hoping to begin salvage work soon, including pumping oil off the vessel, as hopes fades off finding any more survivors.
24 people are missing and 11 confirmed dead after the huge ship crashed into the rocks on Friday the 13th. There are fears the vessel might slip into deeper water off the Tuscan coast. Along with the salvage workers who will begin operations once rescue efforts have been declared over, a specialist team from Dutch salvage company SMIT is to prepare to pump more than 2,300 tons of fuel from the ship's 17 tanks. According to SMIT, this could take several weeks. Experts believe there is little risk of a major fuel leak that would contaminate the scenic area. The ship, carrying 4,200 passengers and crew, had its hull ripped open when it hit rocks late on Friday, just hours after leaving the port for a week-long Mediterranean cruise. Some people were forced to swim for shore as the angle of the ship made launching lifeboats impossible.
The captain of the Italian ship is now under house arrest and is accused of causing the accident. Prosecutors have also accused him of abandoning the Costa Concordia while there were still passengers on board.
A recording of a call between Francesco Schettino and a port official after the crash appears to support the allegation, though Captain Schettino denies the claims.
Speak more clearly. Captain, speak more clearly. Take your hand away from the microphone and speak loudly.
Commander, the boat is currently on its side.
I understand. Listen, there are people coming down the ladder at the ship's bow. You have to reach it in the opposite direction. Get on board, tell me how many people and what they have with them. Is that clear? Tell me if there are children, women, or anyone that needs assistance. Report back. How many in each of those categories? Is that clear? Look, Schettino, get on board now.
Commander, please.
No, not please. You will get on board. Will you assure me that you're going on board now?
I'm going here. I'm with the rescue ropes. I am here. I'm not going anywhere. I am here.
What are you doing, Captain?
I am here to coordinate the rescue.
What are you coordinating there? Get on board. Coordinate the rescue from on board the ship. Are you refusing?
No, I'm not refusing.
Are you refusing to get on board the ship, Captain? Tell me why you are not getting on board.
I am not going because there is the other lifeboat that has stopped.
Get on board. That is an order. You've declared an abandoned ship. Now get on board. Is that clear? Can you hear me? Get on. Call me directly from on board. My air rescue team is there. My team is at the bow. Get on. There are already bodies, Schettino.
How many bodies are there?
I don't know one I know of, but it's you that has to tell me how many. Christ.
But do you realise that it's dark and we can't see a thing?
So what do you want to do, Schettino? You want to go back home? It's dark, so you want to get back home? Climb the bow of the ship using the ladder and tell me what has to be done. Tell me how many people there are and what they need. Now!
Now, meanwhile, satellite tracking information obtained by international media by the shipping journal Lloyd's List Intelligence shows that the Costa Concordia flirted with disaster even last year by sailing closer to Gigolo Island on a cruise in August than it did on its disastrous voyage on Friday.
Lloyd's List says that the vessel passed within 230 meters of the island on the 14th of August 2011 to mark La Noche de San Lorenzo, the night of the Shooting Stars festival on the island. The route deviation on that occasion had apparently been authorized by Costa Cruises. The company said on Monday that the ship was never closer than 500 meters to the coast when it passed on the 14th of August 2011. Lloyd's List describes that occasion as a near miss and says the ship's route would have been less than 200 meters away from the point of collision on Friday's voyage. Costa Cruises said on Monday that the route deviation last Friday had been unauthorized, unapproved and unknown to Costa. Meanwhile, Richard Mead, the editor of Lloyd's List, had this to say.
I think what we've discovered with this data is that the company's account of what happened, of the rogue master taking a bad decision isn't quite as black and white as they presented originally. This ship took a very similar route only a few months previously, and the master would have known that. Now, the master's account of the thing is that there were no rocks in his way. This was a perfectly safe route. The ship had done this before, and this evidence really does stack that up.
Good evening and welcome to Sports First on Primetime News. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali, arguably one of the greatest sportsmen of all time, celebrated his 70th birthday yesterday. He celebrated his birthday with family and friends in his hometown of Louisville in Kentucky.
I am the greatest.
Born Cassius Marcellus Clay in Louisville, Kentucky on the 17th of January 1942, he changed his name to Muhammad Ali upon joining the Nation of Islam. Like no other sportsman before or since, Ali shocked the world. He was a heavyweight boxer of breathtaking skill and speed whose feats in the ring and outspoken support for black rights out of it made him one of the most influential sportsmen of the 20th century. In a 21-year ring career, the self-proclaimed greatest achieved what no heavyweight had done before by regaining the world title more than 10 years after he first held it. He was also the first man to win one of the sport's greatest trophies 3 times. He boasted, "I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee," and his skill allowed him to beat larger, more powerful opponents such as the late Joe Frazier and Foreman in ferocious fights that captivated the world and made Ali millions. He is best known for 3 titanic battles with Frazier, culminating in the Thriller in Manila in 1975 and the 1971 Rumble in the Jungle, in which he knocked out the giant George Foreman. His later years have been clouded by Parkinson's syndrome, which he refused to blame on his boxing career. At the 1996 Atlanta Olympics opening ceremony, the world watched as Ali, his hands shaking uncontrollably because of his illness, lit the Olympic flame. At the same games, he was presented with a gold medal to replace the one he had won at the 1960 Rome Olympics and later thrown in the Ohio River in disgust after being turned over from an all-white restaurant and chased by a gang of white people. Meanwhile, former US President Bill Clinton has said that Ali's talent, charisma and strong principles were responsible for raising boxing's popularity across the world. Clinton added that Ali helped pave the way for Barack Obama to become the country's first black president. Ali, who married 4 times, is a father of 7 daughters and 2 sons.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Thunder Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
Well, on a more somber note, Sri Lanka lost out on the opportunity of keeping the one-day international series alive against South Africa as the Duckworth-Lewis method, forced by inclement weather, favoured the Proteas numerically. Now, South Africa beat Sri Lanka by 4 runs according to the Duckworth-Lewis method in the 3rd one-day international played in Bloemfontein yesterday to clinch the 5-match series 3-0. We now join former Sri Lanka Test cricketer Sanjeewa Ranatunga for an in-depth analysis of yesterday's game.
We are going to look at the 3rd one-day between Sri Lanka and South Africa, which played at Bloemfontein yesterday. Winning the toss, Sri Lankan skipper decided to take first lease at the surface, which was a very good decision, especially looking at the surface, which was dry and very good batting surface. Batting for Sri Lanka started really good. They had a 90-odd runs partnership for the first wicket, and again they had another over 50 runs partnership for the 3rd wicket. Another very good inning played by Kulasekara, which really helped Sri Lanka to go on and get a score of 266. When we look at the South African bowling attack, no one was looking dangerous the way Sri Lankans were batting. 267 to win. South Africans started in a very bad note, losing 2 early wickets. South Africans came into the game purely because the inning played by du Plessis, who played a very matured inning, and he was promoted in the batting order, and he took best use of his opportunity. But none of other players were commanding at that point, and Sri Lanka was on course for a very comfortable inning till the rain came over. But unfortunately, with the rain coming in, Sri Lankans had to fight back to be in the game, especially against the batting of their skipper. Sri Lankans lost the game in last 2-3 overs. Sri Lanka batting has come really good, and bowlers are bowling well. I think we have a very good chance of winning, provided they keep this form going for the next game.
Now, to keep yourself updated with regard to all the stories that we're following right here on News First, log on to www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Shamir Rasooli.
And I'm Kumarini Rajakaruna. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care and good night.